So today's May 6th. It's about 2:40 in the morning. I'm out on Cajon Pass right now. You can see the moon there. Came out here to see if I could see any of the meteor shower that's going on. Peaked last night. Haven't seen anything tonight. I did see one yesterday, but thought this was a little bit darker out here, although I have lights on right now, so my night vision is destroyed. But I figured maybe shooting this way, same direction that I saw one last night, maybe it'll show up in the video, maybe not, if there is one. I haven't seen any since I've been out here. It's been about a little over a month since I did one of these videos. The whole working from home thing has really kind of messed with me. It's just awkward to do. I end up spending a lot more time working than not. Another thing that's happened that makes it particularly odd or just weird is we had layoffs at Ruggable. We got rid of 39 people, at least on the office side. I don't know how many people, like contractors or temps in the warehouse, had been laid off or let go, or contracts not renewed or whatever prior to that. But our tech team went down to 5 people. We're left with Jane, Amy, Alex, Jake, and myself. Chris, Beatrix, Antonia, Amy, and Rick were all let go. I don't remember if it had happened. I think PJ had already been let go prior to the last video. But yeah, it's really weird. I'm now the most senior person on our team in terms of tenure and knowledge. So that's really odd. I don't know. I've kind of talked to my new boss Amy about it, like what's gonna happen with my future, because again, kind of got dangled in front of me was the like team lead kind of role, and I've kind of been doing the work, but not necessarily the pay or the title, and that's kind of been something that's happened. It's happened at IRB a couple of times. It happened at Dockler too. So having lost 2 more bosses here, PJ and Rick, I'm now on boss 6 and 7 months. Well, I guess I'm now at 8 months. We just kind of crossed over that threshold, but still kind of odd. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. She's worked with me to set up a plan, but I'd like to make it to a year. I don't know if I will though. I don't really know of anyone that has on our side of things. Ellen stepped down as COO, so there's some differences there too. It's just a whole lot of change at work while also being stuck at home and not really having a whole lot of interactions with people. However, now that that's kind of been the let me finish with maybe the not so great stuff before I kind of jump into the better stuff. Haven't been doing as much with my notebook lately. I really need to. Just find it hard working at home. The work-life balance is really skewed right now, so it's making it particularly difficult. I think I'd already been seeing the therapist, but have opened up a lot more. That's been helpful, and she's posed some pretty good questions that have gotten me to think about things and start creating the kind of connections that I needed between different events so that I can better understand them. So that's been rather helpful. Started working on a timeline kind of thing to string those events together and understand how one led to the other, and how different things have brought me to where I am today. I think that pretty much covers kind of the not so great stuff, maybe okay stuff. Good news though. A couple weeks ago. I've also been doing a bunch of random roads. So I took the 2 as much as I could. There's a part through Wrightwood that I couldn't do. There's another train coming, so I need to hurry up. A whole bunch of roads. Anyway, good news. Alma started following me on Instagram. That was a really nice thing to see one day, and I think she had liked like 6 pictures right off the bat, and she had commented on one, and I find it really funny that the one post she had commented on, it was a video that I did, a time lapse of a sunset, and I wanted to send it to her, but I was encouraged to not do it because not wanting to appear needy or because I think I had sent her a text and she hadn't responded right away or responded yet, and so I wanted to send it to her, and she was very much in my mind when I was putting that together. It was kind of for her, and so if you look at the first what's it called? First character in each sentence, it actually says for ALMA, for Alma. So I thought it was really cool that she really appreciated that one. I'm gonna pause real quick so this train can go by, and then I will continue. Okay, this train is just about gone. I already saw a headlight glow from something coming up the pass though, so I'm gonna hopefully not have to pause again. We'll see. Yeah, I started following on Instagram. We've been talking, not so much talking, we did a little bit, texted back and forth a little bit on there. I've been trying to coordinate with her through just texting, going out to see the meteor shower that it peaked I think the 16th of April, but because of the way the work schedule's been, she's been on the 2 to 10 or 10:30 shift. She hasn't really had the time. She's also been working overtime, and because of that arrangement and like her kids' schedules, she doesn't really get to see her kids during the week, so she's seeing them on the weekend. There's no real schedule there, and I mean, I don't want to take away from that. I mean, that's something important, and I think, I mean, like I've the way she's talked about her kids, there's a level of passion there that it's hard to. There aren't many people that just speak with that level of passion about anything, and so it's definitely not something I want to take away from her or even try to. And I think her kids help make her who she is. So, sorry, the train's just coming. So yeah, I don't want to take away from that. Because the train's almost here, I'm going to pause again. Hopefully it won't be that long or that loud. We'll see. I'll be back in a minute. So as soon as eastbound train passed, westbound came by, and I heard on the radio the rail grinder is going to come up, cleared through Martinez. Not sure where he is yet, but he'll be coming up soon. Hopefully not too loud. Okay, so yeah, I had been trying to set up the meteor shower. I threw out a couple dates. I was going to go out there to the desert a couple times anyway. Extended the offer for any of those days. I mean, just because of the work schedule, trying to maximize overtime, just, the uncertainty of this, like, makes sense. I'd also thrown out there, like, you know, one of the days when I was out there, the Tuesday, actually it was Wednesday at that point, the 17th, I think, day after the peak. Uh, I've been texting her and asked her, like, independent of if you can go or not on Saturday, which was going to be the last day that I was going to go out to like not needles, Siberia. Regardless of that, or independent of that, you want to grab lunch this week. Maybe, I think I said maybe Friday, because Wednesday, I figure I'm going to recover, sleep Thursday. So she said, because her work starts at 2, lunch might be a little tight, maybe breakfast. Not necessarily a huge fan of having to wake up that early, but I was willing to do it. I agreed to it. And so we were going to shoot for Friday. And Thursday evening, she had texted me telling me that her work schedule, that they had told them that they had Friday off. So if I wanted to do lunch instead, like, we could do that. I told her, I'm a lot more awake at lunchtime than I am breakfast time. So let's shoot for that. So went out there. What was that? I think it was like the 23rd. I'm really behind on these videos. Went out there, picked her up. Didn't really have anywhere in particular to go for lunch, so we just started driving. Probably drove for, I don't know, half an hour or something. And we were just talking. It wasn't even like we're like, yeah, we'll just drive, see what we see. If something looks interesting, we'll grab that. But we were just talking, not paying attention to anything that was outside. It was nice. And we passed by a Habit, and she had mentioned that her friend worked at a Habit, the one in Long Beach, but it was like, she was pretty sure she was training at, or was it Westminster? So I was like, yeah, we could do that. So we started, started going, and I was like, yeah, hungry, totally ready to, like, that sounds good. I think she took that as me being hungrier than I was, because when we were driving down, turns out it was beach. We passed this place, Hiccups, and she's like, oh yeah, like, we should stop there and like grab something then. And I mentioned that was actually something I found one day when I was driving up Beach Boulevard. I was like, oh yeah, I wrote that place down because I was curious. Like, it just said Hiccups. I had no idea what it was. It's like a coffee, tea, boba place. So we went over to I got a smoothie. She got I want to say a chai tea or something like that. So we got that. Standing there talking. Her kids called her, and so she took the call outside and came back and apologized. And I just explained to her what I had said before about her kids and like, they come first. And so, we kept talking, and then we got our drinks and kept on our way over the Habit, and we got over there and got introduced to her friend. We went in, ordered. They gave us like free drinks, and her friend gave us a discount. And yeah, I had a feeling that it was her best friend. I wasn't 100% sure because she hadn't said that at that point. But then when we were sitting down waiting for our food to be ready, she had mentioned that she knew her since the 5th or 6th grade, and which she's mentioned before for her best friend. So I knew at that point. Seemed really nice. I think it was pretty cool and a good sign that I got introduced to her best friend. We couldn't eat there, so we grabbed the food and suggested looking for a park. So we went down the street a little bit, found a little park, faced a little pond on the other side of the street. We sat there and ate, and I don't know, it was just a really nice time to sit there and talk. And I know at one point I had asked about her kids, like what their names were. I had no idea at that point. And just talking, it was really nice. And then at one point, she's like, should probably go back. I need to go to the bathroom. And she's like, okay, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I only asked her for lunch. Like, I wasn't saying like, hey, do you want to spend the whole day together? I was just trying to get to spend a little bit of time with her. And then she said, or we can see if there's like a Target or something, and go from there. And so we found a Target just down the street, and then just drove down PCH, and we're talking the whole time. We passed by Balboa Island, and she had mentioned that, never been there. So we made a little detour to go over there. We found this ferry that you can drive onto and takes you across. It's only like a couple 100 feet, but it was cool. And we're taking pictures on there. We both shot video. At one point we both like panned from the outside and then toward each other, and both started laughing. So I don't know, it was a really fun day, for me at least. I mean, she had mentioned like picking me up again once she gets her license. So I'm hoping things keep progressing well, and keep moving in that direction. It's just really nice. I miss her. It sucks. I mean, yesterday I was working, and just out of nowhere, it was like 7 o'clock, just typing away, and then I just stopped and said, I'm sad, out loud. And I mean, like, yeah, working that late, definitely not ideal, but I don't think that was, I don't know if I was sad about that, but the thing that makes the most sense to me is just missing her and not getting to have that interaction with her all the time. Like, I want to go back to work just so that I can see her more. I've kind of gotten used to the working from home thing. It's still not ideal, but like doable. But yeah, it sucks. The nice thing though, like, we still have some form of communication, like stories, like on Instagram, and we've liked at least every picture that each other has posted since. I don't know if that really means anything, but I've definitely found myself posting more. The rail grinder's coming. Posting more, and I noticed I adjusted my photo style a little bit, too, to make it, I think, just to appeal to her more, like the sunset pictures, trying to throw, maybe skew the white balance a little more, amber and magenta, just to get some more of those colors that she likes out of it. But yeah, I think things are on a good track. I mean, this whole coronavirus is making things tricky, but I think things are going all right. Things are progressing well for the situation that we're in. Hopefully, she and I will get to spend some more time together in the future, though. She really does make me happy. I'm gonna pause again because I have one little thing to add, but this is gonna get real loud. Okay, hopefully that's far enough up the hill. I guess the part that I wanted to add was that from last time, the last 2 times that I've been able to spend time with Alma, after the first time I started thinking about it, and I was thinking that I just thought of something else to add. I was thinking that that getting to spend time with, like, when I'm around her, things just flow. Like, I'm not in my head. It's just easy. Like, I'm not worried about what I'm gonna say next or what she's gonna think. It's just this. It's like the easiest conversation that I've ever had. And it's weird because I almost feel like I'm not in it, but very much in it. Like, essentially, like I'm on autopilot. And I was thinking that in the beginning, like after that first time, that, you know, she was really helping me. Even before then, really helping, just being around her, I felt that I was being more the person that I wanted to be. You know, this person that is good in social situations and doesn't have trouble talking to the people that they're interested in, and just all around, I felt like a better version of me. And one of the questions my therapist had asked me at the very first time I had met with her was, have I always been an introvert? And my answer at the time was yes, but as I've thought about it more, I'm thinking that the answer is more no. I mean, I was thinking back as far as like 6th grade, but thinking a little bit before then, I didn't like to talk to strangers, but I definitely wasn't in my head and as reserved as I am now. And I think some of that came from the depression. And so my thought now is more that being around her is bringing out me, the original me, not the one that I've been hiding behind for years, but the genuine me. And I mean, like months ago, I had mentioned that, you know, I've been wanting to be more social and talk to more people, and it's been weird. I haven't always been able to find, you know, people to talk to, but the timeline lines up with, you know, when I got to, you know, started talking to Alma. And I mean, even if this is the only thing that comes out of knowing her, I really hope that it's not. I really hope that it's not. But even if it's the only thing, like, I knew she was going to have a big impact on my life. And that's already pretty big. I hope something more can come of it. But yeah, it's nice. I haven't had someone that just, I feel like me around. There is another train coming. It's a busy night on the sub. And it is now 3:30. I got one more thing to say that I can think of right now. I know we're at 24 minutes, but I will continue in a minute. So unless I think of something else, the last thing on my mind was probably close to a month ago now. There was just so much in my mind. I was talking to Nate one night, and he was saying that, you know, I need to just say what I need to say. And I had a lot of ideas of things that I wanted to say, but I didn't know exactly the words that I wanted to say. And there was one night I was laying in bed, about to go to sleep. I think it was like 4:30 in the morning, and it just, one sentence came to me, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna write this down. So I wrote that down, and then it all just started flowing out of me. I had thought about reading it in this kind of video. I may do that still. I only have one phone with me right now, so I can't really do that here. I don't have a computer with me, so I can't read it off there. And my phone's at like 9% battery, so I can't necessarily do that. Not that the battery affects that, but probably read it next time. I may do another one of these just real shortly afterward, but sorry. The key points were kind of that, you know, how she made me feel just like being around her. I just thought of something else. And then, you know, like importance of her kids, which I now have already told her. Not just importance of her kids, but that her kids come from, like, I'm not trying to take away from that. Like, maybe I need to just say somehow that I'm just trying to add. I don't know how to word that yet. And then the last part, which was the part that was probably a little iffier, was that I had said that essentially that, you know, I had developed feelings, and I kind of explained how those came about, where they went, what feelings came about, how you know, first time I saw her in the print room, thought she was cute, wanted to find an excuse to talk to her again, but didn't necessarily really have to. I was excited when the opportunity presented itself for me to take her to the holiday party. And then, you know, it wasn't necessarily the smoothest beginning, but like that point in the night where, you know, all the eyes just felt like they disappeared and it was just us. I think then till probably Denny's was when the real feelings kind of kicked in for me, like the something more, because we talked about a lot of stuff. I don't know how much she remembers, but I think that's where I started feeling a lot more of a connection with her. And that, you know, like, I would hope to have a relationship with her. I understand that right now that may not be something that can happen. Just time, everything going on in her life, she may not be ready for that. You know, maybe it'll never happen, but, you know, like, yeah. I forgot the other thing. Talking about the way she made me feel. How about this? I'm gonna write it down when I think of it, and I'll make another video, because this one's already almost half an hour, and it's like 3:40 in the morning, and I'm on Cajon. I still have to drive all the way back home. I have a meeting at 10, town hall. So if and when I think of that, I'll probably rewatch this. It'll come to mind when I watch that part. And I'm gonna do these more regularly. Quarantine's gonna probably, you know, not as much content each time. Not that I'm trying to shoot for content. I'm just things to talk about. So it may not be quite as frequent as I would like. But maybe I'll try for weekly right now, just as something. I can set this up in my room. No big deal. I've done it plenty of times. Yeah, so I think for now, that's probably pretty good. It is 3:41 now. So if you factor in that this video ends up being about half an hour, and whatever time I said I started, that's how much time we lost to trains going by. Yeah, so I haven't really given myself any action items in this one. Not in my mind right now, but follow up with the next one. Add them in there. All right. Good night.